everyone, I'm Jody. Welcome back to your mat. I'm here at my beautiful yoga studio, 8th Limb Yoga in Riverwalk in South Carolina. If you're ever in town, come say hi. Today, we're going to be talking about sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. That's what that means in Sanskrit. Surya meaning sun, Namaskar meaning salutation. These are traditionally done in the mornings to warm up your body and greet the sun. They could also be done at night when the sun is going down to say goodnight to the sun, but they're just generally a great way to warm up your body and just get your blood flowing. You'll find these classes, or you'll find these flows in many different kinds of classes. You'll find it in Ashtanga, Hatha, Vinyasa classes, as well as others. So when you come to a class, if you're new, you'll often hear a teacher say, we're going to run through sun salutations. There are a couple of different ones. Today, we're going to be running through Sun Salutation A and Sun Salutation B. So I'm going to be going through the poses. We'll go through a bit of a flow. First, I'll show you what the poses are. We'll go through the flow together. You can watch or go along with me. And then once we're done with that, we'll break down all of the poses and I'll teach you exactly where you're supposed to be and what you might want to feel in each of the poses. And just know if you don't feel what I'm feeling and maybe it feels a little different than what I'm saying, then that's okay too. Everybody is different. So some may feel things a little bit more than others, some less. So you just be in your body and you just take care of yourself. So let's start with our Sun Salutation A. I'll be calling the poses. I'll be using Sanskrit. And I will also be telling you what the pose is in English. So you could either follow along or just watch me this first time. So if you haven't done a sun salutation before, or you're not really sure, then maybe just watch this first time. And then when we go through it together, I really encourage you to get up and please don't just watch me. It works so much better if you actually do it. So let's come to the top of the mat, or I will for now. And I want to ground down through my feet. I set up next to the mirrors so you can see a couple of directions and how my body is moving and how all of my joints can align. So we're going to start here in our mountain pose, Tadasana. Tada meaning mountain, asana meaning pose. So Tadasana, let's just stand. Okay, but we're not just standing here. What else is going on in my body right now? I can guarantee there is more than meets the eye. So to describe these poses, I will come up through the bottom and way all the way up through the top once we get going to that part of this workshop. So starting in our mountain pose. Take a deep breath in and exhale just to reset everything. Inhale, reach up, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, long spine folds. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Get a nice flat back here. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Step back into a high plank. And lower your belly down to the mat, nice and slow, hugging your elbows in. Inhale, Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Bend your knees deeply. Look forward. Make your way to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, fold. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Utthita Hastasana, root to rise, taking up space. And exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Tadasana. So that's our Sun Salutation A. I feel warm already. What a difference just moving through those movements. You might run through a couple of those in a row in a class. Maybe they get thrown in the middle. You never really know. They're fabulous ways for teachers to build on and add on poses as you get a little bit more experience. So before we move on to explain that, I'm just going to show you the Sun Salutation B, which is a little bit more. You're going to work a little bit harder. So let's move through this, and then we're going to break it all down together. Okay, so here we go. If you would know what you're doing, then if you want to move along with me, go ahead. Okay, so we're starting at the top of the mat again, Tadasana. Let's just breathe and feel. Inhale, Uttita Hastasana. Exhale, Utkatasana. Chair pose, fierce pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Chaturanga Dandasana, step back into your high plank. Lower your belly down to the mat. Inhale, Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Breathing in and out of the nose using your victorious Ujjayi breath. Breathe in through the bridge of the nose and out through the bridge of the nose. And then we're going to take a step up with that right leg and come into our Virendrasana 1. Ride your inhale up. Gaze up, soften the shoulders. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Step back, lower slow. Inhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, gaze up. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Left leg to the top. Square off everything and let's rise nice and easy. Reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Stepping back, lowering slow. I will offer options as we move. Adho Mukha Shavasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Breathe here. I'm going to pause for about 3 breaths here. Smoothing out my breath. One more in. And on my next exhale, I'm going to bend my knees deeply, look forward, and walk or step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Fierce pose, rise, relax your shoulders. Press through your feet, Uttita Hastasana, rise. Samastiti, hands to heart center. Tadasana, mountain. I feel warm now. I don't know about you. Okay, so now that you've seen our sun salutations, let's break them down a little bit and we'll workshop each of those poses. So let's start with our mountain pose. I'm going to come right over here with my explanation of the sun salutation, Surya Namaskar A. I will also be offering some modifications. So if something doesn't work for you, then you have choices. We'll use props, we'll lower our knees, we'll do different ways, different things to either go deeper into a pose or maybe to lighten it up to make it right for you for today. It might be different tomorrow, you don't know. So let's start at the top. I want to talk about mountain pose. I'll face you for this. So mountain pose. Okay, I'm here. I'm standing here. Am I in a mountain? Well, mountains I can't knock over. Can you knock over a mountain? I don't think so. So we got to make ourselves into a mountain. So how do we do that? Mountains stand strong. They don't move. So we need a nice firm foundation. So we'll bring our feet close together. Maybe they touch. It doesn't really matter. But what we want to do is find all four corners of those feet. So maybe lift up your toes, maybe rock front to back a little bit. And just find the center of your feet. What does it take to keep balance? And then relax your feet down, wiggle your toes, and press your feet into the floor. Yeah, little strength going on here. And keep that press in your feet and relax your toes down. Feet are still pressing like they're glued to the earth. So from here, we're going to work our way up to the top. So our feet are still pressing. Keeping that activation, I'd like you to think about firming your outer ankles, maybe lift the inner arches of your feet. When you do that, maybe you felt some of that energy coming up through your legs. When I press my outer edges of my feet down, I feel energy coming up. I feel it in my quad muscles. Right up here, I want to wrap the quad muscles around my femur bone. Squeeze nice and tight, still pressing those feet. And I also felt my kneecaps lift a little bit, like all my energy is coming up through my legs, meeting me at the belly button. So now I want to ground down from the top of my body, still keeping all this activation. My kneecaps are lifted, my outer ankles are firm. I want to bring energy up. Maybe bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Really scrunch. And on the exhale, release your shoulders down your back. Nice and long. Your crown of the head is high. Breathe here. Firm your legs. Your core is engaged. Pull your belly in and up. And see if you can find the sensation of pulling your front ribs into your back ribs. Palms are to your sides. Fingertips are active. Spread your fingers. Breathe. Coming further up the body. Engage Mula Bandha. Yeah, from your pelvic floor. Come on up into Uddiyana Bandha. Squeeze everything into the center. Check in with your feet. Are you still pressing? Maybe wiggle those toes and release. Crown of the head is high. Chin parallel to the earth. Hold here. Press through those feet. Everything is active. Picture yourself being that mountain. Breathing through. Relax your facial muscles, shoulders, and just be with your breath. Nice. That's mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's add on from here. I'm going to come to the top of my mat, and please join me for these movements. Press through those feet, starting at the bottom, work your way up. Press the feet. Firm the outer ankles, lift the inner arches of your feet, and start to activate your legs. Kneecaps are lifted, quad muscles around those femur bones. Let's inhale. Reach up to the sky. Utthita Hastasana, palms meet. Exhale, Uttanasana. Fold with a nice long spine, gentle bend in your knees. Take your hands down to the mat. If you need to bend your knees, then that's fine. We would like to get our fingertips in line with the tops of the toes. Breathe here. If you have trouble coming down this far, you could always take blocks to the side and hold here. Crown of the head is soft. Breathing through. Adding on, we're going to come into a halfway lift again. Ardha Uttanasana. Push your shins away. Flatten out your back body and take your shoulders out of your ears. Maybe take the gaze forward. Nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, refold. Beautiful. Hands come down to the mat. We're going to step back into our Chaturanga Dandasana. That's a high plank. So step back. And we're going to hold here. Check in with your shoulders. Are they directly over your wrists? If they're not, then adjust. Stacking your joints helps relieve some pressure. And using your joints, your bones, they're strong. They stack on top of each other naturally. When you come forward like this, you get more pressure. So make sure that your joints are stacked. Holding here. There's always a choice here. Maybe this is too much for you today. So drop your knees, uncurl your toes, breathe here. And no matter where you are from here, we're We're going to gently press forward. If you're on your toes, it would look like this. Your shoulders will come past your wrists, just an inch or so. And I want you to slowly lower your belly down. Hug your elbows in towards your ribs as you lower. Uncurl your toes. Keep your hands just where they are. Hug the elbows in towards the ribs. And come on up into an upward facing dog. Well, this is cobra right here. There are different levels. You can come to cobra right here or press through the hands, lengthen the arms. Ardha Mukha Shavasana, upward facing dog, lifting those thighs. Beautiful. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, lower down. And we're going to come through our tabletop or high plank into our downward facing dog. If you're coming through tabletop, you can press up into tabletop, curl your toes under, and lift into downward facing dog. Coming through high plank, this is a little bit harder. You really have to firm your core. So curl your toes under. We're going to get in our down dog from here. Lift up into high plank. You really have to firm everything. And then come into your downward facing dog. We'll hold here for a breath. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. Again, nice deep breath in. Exhale, maybe sink your heels a little closer to the mat, stretching out your beautiful hamstrings, lengthening. And then we're going to bend our knees deeply. Take a deep breath in. And on our exhale, let it propel you to the top of the mat. Walk, jump, step. Inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And Utthita Hastasana will bring it right back up to the top. And hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Dropping back into our Tadasana, completing our circle. Beautiful. Surya Namaskar A. Oh, it's a little bit of a tongue twister. Yes, so how do you feel? Did you do it with me? I hope so. So now we're going to try the Sun Salutation B. You can see how this really starts to build some heat in your body. Okay, so let's move through the Sun Salutation B. This one you might find in a little more fast classes. You could always slow them down, except they definitely build some heat. You do 2 or 3, even 4 Sun Salutation Bs, and you're going to be building heat. I can guarantee your skin will at least be glistening. Okay, so starting at the top again. Remember, with this one, we're adding in some poses. There's also going to be fierce pose, chair pose, Utkatasana in Sanskrit. We're also adding in a little bit of warrior 1. So we're going to come through each side one time. So in our warrior 1, Virendrasana 1, you want to make sure that you're really squaring everything to the top of the mat, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So let's start at the top of our mat and let's build a little bit of heat. You ready? Let's do this. Starting in your Tadasana. Ground down. Don't skip this part. Feel those feet. Firm your ankles. Lift those inner arches. Feel the engagement, that energy coming up into your body. And just shoot it out your fingertips from the top all the way through, from the crown of the head. Breathe here. Couple more breaths. And we'll begin. Deep inhale. Utthita Hastasana. Come on up to the top. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit down, breathe here. We're going to talk about chair pose. So chair pose, we are sitting. Arms can be long. If that's a lot for you, you could take your hands into heart center. And we're mostly just sitting in a chair here. It could just be a little. What we need to focus on here is that we could always see our toes. We're going to take about 80% of our weight into the heels and just enough so that we could wiggle our toes. So let's try that again. Inhale, rise, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, chair. So sit down, breathe. And if you sit too far, your knees are going to pass your toes. So we need to curl our tailbone under towards our knees. Sit down. It doesn't have to be very far. This is a very difficult pose. Weight in those heels. Make sure you could see your toes. One more breath in here. And on the breath out, Uttanasana. Folds. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. We're pushing our shins away here, looking for a nice flat back. Can you hold a tray of drinks on your back? Would it stay? Breathe. Maybe take the gaze forward a little bit. Draw your shoulders out of the ears and find a little more length. And then let's fold, Uttanasana. Beautiful. Hands to the mat. We're going to step back into our high plank. There's a couple of ways to get here. I'll show you differently on the next time around. Let's just step back this time. Easiest version, we'll drop the knees, uncurl the toes, and everybody, shoulders past the wrists, hug elbows in as you lower your belly to the mat. Come into your cobra or upward facing dog. Cobra, come on up, nice and small, maybe a little bit higher. Upward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Lift your thighs, lengthen your arms, maybe gaze up. Beautiful strengthening pose, back bend. Roll over your toes, and we're going to come into downward facing dog. Lifting those hips high. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's talk about down dog for a second. First, let's make sure that our measurements are good. You can take your shoulders over your wrists, coming forward. Breathe. Look how my shoulders are directly over my wrists. If yours aren't, then go ahead and adjust. Remember, stacking your joints really helps your poses. So from here, I'm going to squeeze my glutes and squeeze my thighs and lead with them. Downward facing dog. Lots of activity going on here. Depending on where you are and what type of class you're in, this is a variation that you may get or not, depending on your teacher. So you may either be asked from here to step up directly into your warrior one, and I would rise from here, or some places, some teachers like to lift that right leg up into a 3-point or a 3-legged dog and step forward into your warrior one. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Virabhadrasana 1. Plant that back heel. Your left toes are pointing to the top left corner of your mat. And we're going to ride our inhale up. Breathe here. We're going to lift the arms. Yeah. Nice and straight. Lengthen out your arms. We're not hanging out here. We're lengthening. There's an energetic lift from our fingertips. Bend your right knee. Making sure your knee is over the ankle, and you don't want to cave in. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. You want to make sure your knee is directly over the ankle. A lot of people tend to cave in a little bit. Seems a little easier. You want to press through that pinky toe. Press it down and square off your shoulders, and do the best that you can to square off your hips. I really don't like that cue. I feel like unless you're in Cirque du Soleil, nobody's ever going to really square the hips. So you just want to encourage this left hip forward and square off your shoulders. Breathe here. I feel like my left shoulder is a little bit further back than my right here. So I'm going to lengthen my left arm in front of me. And I feel how that squares off my shoulders a little bit more, and then lift it back up without changing anything. Breathe. I want to press through the outer edge of my left foot behind me. Deep breath in. And on my exhale, I'm going to step back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Hands frame the foot. Step back. Again, option to lower your knees. Lower, slow. Inhale into your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do the second side a little bit faster. Left leg lifts for your 3-point. Exhale. Take it forward between the hands, and we're going to ride the inhale up for our warrior one. Reach up, gaze up. Soften those shoulders and lengthen your arms. Find those pinky toes. Square off, maybe right arm reaches forward. Keep the shoulders just where they are and rise back up. Deep breath in. Exhale, frame your foot. Step back into your high plank, knees drop or not, but hug the elbows in no matter what as you lower your belly down. Uncurl your toes, press them down into the mat and help you rise. Maybe lift those thighs for Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Exhale. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Breathe here. We'll take 3 nice deep breaths, really feeling some heat now. Deep breath in, breath out. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat here. You can walk, you can just step, you could take a hop or jump. If you do want to take a little jump, I'd like you to bend your knees deeply and take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, press through the hands and propel yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Fold. Back to our fierce pose, Utkatasana. Sink down. Sit in your chair. Maybe a little bit deeper this time, maybe not. Breathing through, take a peek down. Make sure you can see your toes. One more breath. And then we're going to press through the feet. Inhale. Upward salute. Exhale. Samastiti. Tadasana. Breathe. Nice. Maybe close your eyes. And just feel. How do you feel now compared to just about 30 minutes ago? Hopefully you feel a little bit warm. If you didn't do it with me, please go back, rewind, and do it. It works so much better if you do it rather than watch. So yeah, let's do our sun salutations. Let's run through them one more time together. We'll put it together and do a nice flow. I'm not going to talk so much. We're just going to flow. Ready? Come flow with me. Come on. Surya Namaskar A, straight into Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, step back. Exhale, lower, slow. Inhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Breath in, breath out. Bend the knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, Samastiti. Tadasana. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Utkatasana, chair. Reach. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, step or hop back. Lower, slow. Ardha Mukha Shavasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, down dog. Right leg lifts. Virendrasana 1, step on up. Plant that back heel and rise. Exhale, frame your foot. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Lower, slow. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Virendrasana 1, step up. Plant that heel and ride your inhale up. Reach. Maybe sink a little bit lower. Make sure that knee is tracking towards the pinky toe. Frame your foot. Last flow. Lower down. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's hold here for 3 breaths. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, release. Inhale again, hear yourself breathe. Exhale, maybe stick the tongue out, lion's breath, let it go. No one can see you. Again, we'll take one more deep breath in, and on the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, make your way to the top of the mat in a forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, finding length. Exhale to fold. One more chair pose, fierce pose, Utkatasana, rise. Press through your feet, upward salute. Exhale, hands through heart center, samasthiti, into your Tadasana. Close your eyes and feel. How does your Tadasana feel compared to just about 30 minutes ago? Are you a mountain? Are you strong? Breathe. Close your eyes, being strong and vulnerable at the same time. Couple more breaths. Let your shoulders be soft. Wiggle your fingers. Let that energy release. Shoulder blades relax down your back. Crown of the head is high. Beautiful. Let's all draw our hands into our heart center. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, nice cleansing breath. Again, nice deep breath in. Exhale. Release. Thank you for practicing with me. Reach high, breathe easy, and smile always. My name is Jody, and again, I welcome you to your mat. Please subscribe, like, and just check out my channel. I'm going to be posting more videos right here from the beautiful Riverwalk studio. Take a look at this. How nice is this? That beautiful view down to the river. So come with me. If you're ever down here, come take a class with me. I'm here all the time. I look forward to getting to know you. And like and subscribe to my channel. Welcome Mat welcomes you, and I hope to see you soon. Have a great day.